AIart Shadowstar Silverleaf. The rain tasted of ash. It always did in these forgotten corners of Ethel. AIart Silverleaf, though few know me by that name and fewer still by Shadowstar, watched the caravan approach. Another shipment of Lumina crystals bound for the Azure Peaks. A transaction ripe with potential and inevitable conflict. For centuries, my family has been void-born merchants. Not in the flashy, opulent sense. We deal in secrets, in debts, in the things people desperately want to keep hidden. My gaze flickered across the caravan leader, a burly dwarf named Borin Stonebeard. He carried himself with an air of gruff confidence, but the tremor in his hand betrayed a deeper unease. A debt to the Crimson Syndicate, perhaps. Or something far more ancient. I'd observed Borin for weeks, tracing his movements, listening to whispered conversations. He believed himself secure, shielded by the Syndicate's power. But power, like Lumina crystals, always attracts shadows. A rival merchant, Lady Isolde Blackwood, was also tracking the caravan. Her interest was less about profit, and more about eliminating Borin and seizing control of his contracts. The ambush came at dusk, a blur of steel and desperation. Isolde's assassins moved with practiced efficiency. Borin's guards fought valiantly but were overwhelmed. I remained unseen, a silent observer amidst the chaos. Intervention wasn't my role. My role was to understand, to learn, to profit not necessarily with gold but with knowledge. Isolde gloated, believing she secured the crystals and eliminated her rival. But she hadn't accounted for the whispers of the void. The Lumina crystals weren't just power sources, they were conduits, attracting entities from beyond. As Isolde reached for the largest crystal, a tendril of pure shadow erupted, engulfing her and her remaining assassins. The crystals pulsed with an eerie light. Borin, wounded but alive, watched the scene unfold with a mixture of horror and relief. He didn't understand what had happened and likely never would. I approached him, my face obscured by the hood of my cloak. "The void claims what is offered freely," I said, my voice a low murmur. "Consider this a lesson in the true cost of ambition." Then I vanished, leaving him alone with the rain, the crystals, and the lingering echo of the void. Another transaction complete. Another piece of the puzzle acquired, and the shadows remain. The rain continued to fall, and AIart Silverleaf Shadowstar moved on, always watching, always learning, for the void remembers, and so do I.